Hello, it's Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with another video tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how I made an insert for these little pizza boxes. Now this is the white one and it comes from the annual catalog, but I decorated, of course, the top, and you can decorate them any way you'd like. This is how I decorated this one. But on the inside, I have an insert so that I could hold some beautiful Dove chocolate promises. These are the dark chocolates. And look at how cute Dove is doing their chocolates this year for the season. Isn't that pretty? And so I used some of the Christmas Time Is Here specialty designers paper. And I'm going to show that to you because it's really, really pretty. Okay, this is what I cut out for the rose. But then I also cut out one of the bigger roses to stack on top, just to give it a little bit of dimension. And I used a couple of embellishments there too. And then this one, I'll just put a beautiful red ribbon on the gold box. And I'm just going to show you how I did this one, because on this one here, the insert is a little different. It has, look at that paper. Isn't that beautiful? And that too is from the Christmas Time Is Here Designer Series paper stack. So let's get started. Okay, first let's just real quickly put together this gold box. And you just want to fold all of these score lines. I'm sure you've seen this box go together. You want to poke that out. This little thing. I don't know if you'd be able to use it or not. But yeah, definitely just fold all those score lines. Make sure they're creased really nicely, because the nicer you crease them, the nicer this box will go together. And now there's these little pieces here on the side. You definitely want to get rid of that, because these little edges here are going to tuck on the inside of this. But first you got to fold it. You have to fold this down. Well, first you have to fold it up this way. Okay. There you go. And then fold these in like that, okay? And then tuck those in, those little slots right there. And then you're folding this in and you're locking it in, okay? And with this one here, just fold it. And when it closes, definitely want to fold these flaps in. And then it's going to fold just like a pizza box, right? Okay. So let's get started on our insert. Okay, what you're going to need for the insert, and I have these two pieces of designer series paper. I don't know how I did this, but one is the designs are a little bit opposite, but I think it's going to be okay. These measure 8 1/4 by 3 3/8, both of them. They both measure the same amount. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your simply scored scoreboard, and on the long side for each of these you're going to be scoring at 1/2 inch. You're going to also score at 1 1/4 inch. You're going to score at 1 3/4 of an inch, and also at 2 1/2 inches. And I'm going to just flip this around and do the same at 1/2 an inch and at 1 1/4 inch. Oh, I got paper on me. 1 3/4 of an inch and 2 1/2. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on this other piece here. Okay, now with this piece here, I'm going to turn it to the short side, and I'm going to give it a couple of score lines at the 1/2 inch, but only to the second score line. And over here at the 2 7/8 inch, but only to that second score line. And you're going to flip this over, and you're going to do the same. Take it at 1/2 inch to the second score line, right here, and then at 2 7/8 to that second score line. So basically you're going to have a 1/2 inch on both ends. And I'm going to put the scoreboard away now. Okay, and now I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to cut off these two squares, but then I'm also going to slant from here to there and cut at the diagonal. So basically I'm cutting at the diagonal up to that score line, and then I'm going to cut that score line completely off. You want to make sure you're cutting that score line completely off like that. Okay, I'm going to do the same on both sides. If you notice, I accidentally scored a little too far on here, but that's okay. It's still going to work out just fine. Okay, now I'm just going to fold and burnish all of my score lines. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I get a nice crease. Now this one I scored a little too hard, and you can see that it kind of cracked the paper. But I think that's going to be okay because you're not going to be able to see that. So, because this is how I'm going to be folding it up. So let's do that. On the one that you didn't cut these little, flaps off of there, or the little corners off, I'm going to go ahead and put some tear and tape on this flap right here. Okay, just let me wear my tear and tape like a bracelet. And I will put this just right along that score line. And let me grab my little block so that I can tear it easily. And I'm going to do the same on this side here. Just putting tear and tape right on the edge of that first half-inch part of this strip here. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to remove this backer paper of the tear and tape. Okay. Make sure you're just removing the backer paper. Okay. Like that. And then I'm going to fold it down, and then I'm going to fold it again, but if you notice, there's this score line that's right in between this fold and that fold. You want that so that when you're folding this down, it's going to pop up like that. Okay, you're going to do the same on the other side. You're going to fold where you put your tear and tape, and then you're going to make another fold, but skip a score line, and then it should go together quite nicely, just like this. Okay, and there you have it. Now, you may have to trim a little bit, and I think I will, but not until I fit. I'm going to do like a dry fit of how this is going to fit right here. So this is a little bit too, if you notice, if I try to fold it this way, there's a little bit too much where it was not going to let me fold comfortably. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in my my trimmer, new Stampin' trimmer, and I'm just going to cut like a 1/16 of an inch off of it. Let's see, where's that going to leave me? If I need more, I'm just going to go ahead and cut more. So a 1/16 of an inch might do the trick. Let's see. Is that going to help me when I fold up this way? Because it's going to fit like this. And when I fold up this way, okay. So this is the way it's all going to fit together. And that's why I needed to just trim off that one little 1/16 of an inch. And now it should go together just fine. But I'm going to end up having to glue it instead of using the tear and tape. Put my trimmer away. So where I'm going to put my glue is right here on this flap. This is the Tombow Mono adhesive. All right. It's giving me fits. Oh, there it comes. All right. And then I'm also going to put just a dab of glue right here on the corners of this right here. Do you see a little dab of glue on each of these little corners, and a glue on the flap? Okay, and so this is going to give me a little bit of wiggle room to make sure that I've got my my paper and my miters all straight. And we're going to fold this like that. And we're going to fold it like, there we go. And you want to just hold it there just a little till the glue dries. Just give it a few seconds. It may take more than a few seconds for the glue to dry. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to put a little bit of glue, just a little dab of glue right here on the corners, and also on this flap right here. I think I got glue on the outside. Okay. Nothing like getting all full of glue, right? All for the sake of creativity. I don't mind having glue on me. Okay. Let's see how that came together like that. Let's put our top back on the glue bottle. Make sure that this stays until it is pretty much going to stay put like that. And let's bring over our box, and we're going to set this right inside. Now if you notice it fits a little bit loose, and that's okay, because when you close your pizza box, these flaps need to fit on the inside of the box. Okay, like this. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and fill it up with some of these Dove chocolates. I'm going to put gold ones. I could even put red ones in here because that matches the red there. Okay. Put red. I like that. 2 different kinds. Now this also has a blue one. A blue one too, but it doesn't match anything, so I'm not going to put that in there. I'm just going to put the red ones and the gold ones in here. Okay, and you can fit 8 of them in here. Isn't that pretty? And they're so pretty you don't even need to wrap them in any designer series paper. And so I'm going to just close this box up. Okay. And let's just grab that ribbon. What I used for that big ribbon is the ruched ribbon, which is 1 inch wide. Yep, that's how wide that is. I'm going to grab that ribbon. Okay, I found my ribbon. All right, and what I did was I just made a band, like a belly band, and then I tied a bow, a double loop bow. I just have a little makeshift bow maker. I don't have anything special. You can I'm sure there's a lot of different bow makers out there, but what I did is just tied this bow. It should fit around here perfectly, just to make a little belly band. And pretty much I think that's all you need for this box. It's just a pretty little bow. Isn't that nice? Now another thing I wanted to mention on this designer series paper, or this suite, which is the Christmas Time is Here suite. It's available while supplies last, but if you notice these little corners, aren't they pretty? I cut them out of gold foil, and that's part of the this is the die set. It cuts out that big rose, and it also will cut out the rose that you stamp. This is the rose that you could stamp in color, and that die will cut it out. And if you stamp the rose, you can also color it with these little elements here from that stamp set here. So it's a 2-part stamp set. And look at all these pretty dies that you get with that. And I use these 2 dies to make my decorative corners. So isn't that nice? That's the Christmas Time is Here specialty or suite, but it has that specialty designer series paper in it. It also comes with some gold ribbon. I think this is the, let's see, it's a shimmer ribbon, and it's 1/4 inch wide, okay? And also, notice I put a little gem right there. That is the gold glitter enamel dots. I just put one right there, right in the middle of that rose, just to give it some bling. So I hope that I taught you something. I hope that you you like these little insert boxes, and if you do, go to my website and you can order all of these items that I just used. So That is www.geoamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. And I see that my battery is flashing at me, so I better get going. So once again, I am Jeanette with Geoamazing Papercrafts. All the supplies are listed in the description below. And you make it a great day. Bye-bye.